Welcome to the deep dive, everyone. If you've ever, felt that heat rising after saying something in English that didn't quite work, you're definitely in the right place today.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. And, I can definitely relate. Yeah.
Okay.
Working with English learners for years, those memorable slip-ups, I've seen a lot. Maybe made a few myself.
Oh, that's such a relief to hear. Because I have to share this one moment. It still makes me want to, hide.
Oh, go on.
I was traveling in London, feeling pretty good about my English, actually. Tried to order breakfast, and I confidently asked the waiter for 2 slices of toast and some
Soap?
soap. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Soap.
Okay, wait. Were you aiming for soup or maybe jam?
Jam. Exactly, jam.
Mhm.
The poor guy, he just sort of looked at me, paused, and then very, very gently asked, "You mean jam, madam?"
The gentle correction.
The sheer awkwardness. I felt like I could just melt right there. So tell me, is this sort of thing normal
Yeah.
for language learners?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. It's really a fundamental part of the whole process. Okay. Think of it like this. Making mistakes means you're actually using the language, right? You're trying things out, going beyond what's easy. And that's incredibly valuable.
That's a much better way to frame it. Okay, let's dive into some of these common linguistic stumbles. What are the main types of errors you see? Our little blunder hall of fame, maybe.
Okay, yeah, I like that. A really common one is false friends.
False friends.
Yeah, these are words that look or sound really similar to words in your own language, but crucially, they mean something completely different in English.
Ah, the sneaky ones. Okay, got an example of these treacherous twins.
Definitely. For Spanish speakers, there's the classic pair, embarazada and embarrassed.
Okay.
In Spanish, embarazada means pregnant, but it sounds so much like embarrassed. Well, you can imagine the mix-ups.
Oh, boy.
I actually had a student once starting a presentation, and he announced really enthusiastically, "I am very embarazada to be here."
No. So instead of saying he was nervous,
Mhm.
he shared some big news.
Pretty much. Yeah, there was a beat of silence, some confused looks, and then once we figured it out, quite a bit of laughter. It happens.
Wow. Any others like that?
Another classic is actual. In a lot of Romance languages, the word that sounds like actual means current or present.
Right.
So someone might say, "My actual job is boring." They mean their current job is dull. Not that they, have some secret real job that's boring.
It does create a funny image, though, like a spy complaining about their cover job. Okay, all right, what's another frequent flyer in our blunder hall?
Next up, pronunciation pitfalls. This is a big one. English has all these subtle sound differences, right? And sometimes a tiny shift can totally change the meaning of a word. It's tough.
I can only imagine, like one little vowel sound goes wrong and suddenly you're saying something unexpected. Any prime examples?
Well, the absolute classic is beach versus bitch.
Ah, yes. The dangerous pair.
Exactly. And similarly, sheet, like a sheet of paper and shit.
Right. Also tricky.
I remember a student, very politely, asking the hotel receptionist for an extra bitch. All he wanted was another beach towel.
Oh, the cringe. You can just picture the receptionist trying to keep a straight face.
Absolutely. And, in a meeting, asking your boss for a shit of paper instead of a sheet of paper. Well, that might raise an eyebrow or two. Not quite the professional impression you want.
Unexpected reactions, is putting it mildly. Okay. One more for the Hall of Fame. What else trips people up?
Let's talk about literal translations that sound bizarre. This happens when you translate directly, word for word, from your native language. The grammar might technically be okay, maybe, but the phrase just sounds odd in English, unnatural.
Like saying making a photo instead of taking a photo. I hear that one sometimes.
That's a perfect example, exactly. Or from German speakers, you might hear something like, "It makes me no fun."
Okay, meaning
"It's no fun for me," or "I don't enjoy it." French speakers sometimes say, "I am agree," instead of the simpler "I agree." You see the logic from their language, but it just doesn't quite map onto English smoothly.
Yeah.
Oh, and I once heard someone explain a really complicated, messy situation and finish by saying, "And that's the salad."
That's a salad.
Yeah. Direct translation of a German idiom, apparently, meaning something like, "That's the whole mess," or "That's the gist of it."
And that's the salad? That's brilliant. I might actually start using that one. Okay, so why do we do this? Why do our brains lead us down these tricky paths is not just because we're bad at English, right? Please say no.
Oh, absolutely not. Not at all.
Yeah.
The main reason often is interference from your native language.
Okay.
Your brain already has this whole complex system built up, right? Grammar, vocabulary, sounds for your first language.
Mm.
So when you learn a new one, it's just natural for those old patterns to kind of impose themselves, to try and take over.
That makes total sense. Like my brain, under pressure at breakfast, just grabbed the closest sounding word it knew, soap, because jam wasn't right there. It's like a mental shortcut, but the wrong one.
Precisely. It's your existing framework trying to help, but sometimes getting it wrong. Then, of course, there are nerves.
Yes. Stage fright.
Exactly. When you're anxious about speaking, especially in front of people, your brain doesn't always work the way you want it to. Words you know perfectly well can just disappear.
Oh, I know that feeling. Your mind just goes completely blank.
It happens to everyone. And let's not forget just being tired or maybe not having had enough exposure to certain words or phrases yet.
Right.
Language learning is about building connections in your brain, and sometimes those connections just aren't strong enough yet for instant recall. It's a mix of things, really. Cognitive stuff, experience.
So it sounds like we should all cut ourselves some slack when these things happen. It's just part of learning. Okay, so the blunder has happened. We're standing there feeling maybe a bit red-faced. How do we recover? How do we smooth it over? Let's go back through our types, starting with false friends like the embarazada moment.
Okay. For false friends.
Yeah.
Quick fix. The easiest thing is just a simple correction. Something like, oh, sorry, wrong word. I meant to say correct word. Or, whoops, I meant correct word. Just be clear.
Okay, direct. I like it.
Humorous disclaimer. Sometimes a little laugh helps. You could say, that's my native language brain interfering. I meant I'm nervous. A bit of self-deprecation often works.
Make it less awkward.
Yeah. And then, proactive tip. To avoid it next time, maybe keep a list of common false friends between English and your language. Lots of resources online for that. Reviewing them helps. And for words like actual, just pause and think. Do I mean true or do I mean current? Context helps.
Great advice. Simple, maybe funny, and practical for later. Okay, what about those potentially really awkward pronunciation pitfalls, the beach, bitch, sheet, shit type things?
Right, those need handling carefully.
Yeah.
Immediate correction. If you catch it straight away, just correct it clearly. Oh, beach, I mean the sandy place. Sorry, a sheet of paper.
Yeah.
Quick clarification stops the confusion.
Good point. Nip it in the bud.
Lighthearted explanation. Again, a little humor can work. Oh dear, my mouth isn't cooperating today. I definitely meant the place with the waves. Or, wow, that came out wrong. Talking about paper here.
Diffuses the tension.
Exactly. Practice strategy. For these tricky pairs, you really have to focus on the sound difference. Often is the vowel. For beach, stretch out that long E sound. Listen hard to native speakers, maybe watch videos to see their mouth shapes. And recording yourself can be surprisingly helpful. Practicing minimal pairs is key.
Sound advice, literally.
Oh.
Okay, and finally, those literal translations that just sound a bit weird, like making a photo.
Yeah. For those, seek confirmation. It's perfectly okay to just ask, is that how you say it in English? I meant, can you take a photo? It shows you want to learn and clarifies what you meant.
Non-confrontational.
Acknowledge the translation. You could also just lightly point it out. Haha, sorry, that's a direct translation from my language. I know in English you say.
Own the blunder.
Yeah. And focus on collocations. The best long-term fix is learning words that naturally go together in English collocations. When you learn photo, learn take a photo. Learn chunks of language, not just single words. Look up common partners for new verbs. That helps avoid the word-for-word trap.
This is all so helpful and honestly quite comforting. I feel much better prepared for my next linguistic wobble.
Good. Excellent. Now, should we dip into our imaginary listener mailbag? See a scenario in action.
Ooh, yes. Let's see. Rustling paper sound, implied. Here we go. This one's from Lost in Adjectives in Brazil. They write, Dear hosts, I was at a party talking about an upcoming trip. I wanted to say I was really excited, but I think I might have said, I am very exciting. People looked confused. Help. Oh, lost in adjectives, I feel your pain. That ed versus ing thing gets everyone. What advice have you got?
Yes, a total classic. Confusing aid and ing adjectives. Super common. Okay, so the core difference. Basically, ed adjectives like excited, bored, interested usually describe how a person feels, their internal state.
Okay, the feeling.
Right. And AD adjectives, exciting, boring, interesting, describe the thing or person causing the feeling. So the trip is exciting, it causes excitement, and that makes you feel excited.
Got it. Cause effect.
Exactly. Immediate clarification, if you catch yourself, just quickly correct. Oh, sorry. I meant I feel excited. The trip itself is exciting.
The simple enough.
Humorous recovery. Or you can make light of it. Whoops, don't worry. I'm not the exciting one here. I'm just really excited about the holiday. Nice save.
Learning tip. A little memory trick. I am end. The thing is hing. Practice them in pairs. I am bored. The film is boring. I am interested. The book is interesting. Say them out loud. It helps lock it in.
Fantastic advice. So, lost in adjectives, you're definitely not alone, and now you've got some clear ways to fix it and remember it for next time. Phew!
Oh, absolutely.
This has been so insightful and actually pretty funny, too, going through these common blunders. Thank you so much for sharing all your expertise and your really encouraging perspective.
Oh, it's been my pleasure entirely. And really, everyone listening, remember these little slip-ups. They aren't failures. They're proof you're trying, you're engaging. So embrace them, learn from them, and honestly, try to laugh about them. I mean, I once tried to order liver in French and confidently asked for a book.
A liver turning into literature. Oh, that's perfect.
The waiter's face, unforgettable. It happens to all of us, right? It really does. Okay, so that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the wonderful, sometimes weird world of English language blunders. We really hope this has been helpful, maybe entertaining, and that you feel a bit less worried about making mistakes. The big takeaway: just don't be afraid. They happen. They're stepping stones, not roadblocks.
Couldn't agree more. Embrace the imperfection. It's all part of learning.
And hey, we would absolutely love to hear your own funny English blunders. Keep them anonymous if you like, but share them in the comments. Let's build a supportive space where we can all laugh together.
Yes, please do. The funnier the better, maybe. We can all learn from each other.
You can find more tips and resources over on our website. And if you liked this deep dive, please think about subscribing, maybe leave a review, or share it with anyone else learning English.
Yeah, that support really helps us keep doing these.
Definitely. Until our next deep dive, keep exploring, keep learning, and absolutely keep laughing at those blunders. Bye for now.
Goodbye, everyone. Happy learning. Don't be afraid to make a glorious linguistic mess.